Hey, how's it going? Um, I've been pretty busy lately. Kind of have our last big deadline with me being in charge per se. So it's been a lot of 12-hour days, and it's Sunday night, and I came back from work, and I worked yesterday too, which, yeah, working weekend sucks when you work weekdays already. Um, not really the weekend I was picturing, but I guess it was a relevant one. Learned a little bit about myself. Um, I'm not really sure how to describe it. Just kind of just at a get together over at a friend's, and yeah, things got a bit dramatic, I guess. I don't know why I'm really talking about this, but I mean, let's be serious here. There's not like a big crowd watching, and it's not as if I'm naming names, but kind of felt like I was in a movie, and I guess it was just so real and crazy at the time that I didn't realize it. But you think about it a little, and well, I mean, it's dark and it's raining outside, and you know, someone you care about is like running away, crying in the rain, and telling me not to follow. But I mean, I guess I wasn't completely useless because I did run after this person. Um, Anyhow, kind of an emotional situation. Didn't really. I was kind of in shock. I guess I didn't really know what to do. Um, but yeah, holding someone crying in your arms. I mean, I guess you assume it happens at some point in your life, but I was definitely kind of shell shocked, and I remember the right side of my body was kind of like, what am I doing? What do I do? What do I say? Um, but there's only so much I can do, so anyhow, I think the point being is, yeah, I think. Wait, hold on here. Yeah, since last episode was like three parts and I was really busy and still wouldn't stop talking, maybe we'll just make it a bit short this week. And I'll see you again on Tuesday to actually go over kind of the drier logistics of what it's taken in the last 20 years to, I guess, set myself up for what I want to do. Um, but I mean, that doesn't really make for an exciting story. I mean, it's interesting, I guess, to put together all the pieces that it's going to take, but really, without kind of the emotional core of what I'm after, it's just not the same thing. Um, so, I mean, maybe we'll go with the story. I mean, not many people are going to know this. Maybe my mother knows this. Maybe a couple friends know this, but I guess kind of later on in elementary school, I was really big into buying all this like stationery stuff, and you always want to find like the perfect binder with like the right amount of slots for the different writing utensils and the calculator spot that fits like the calculator you own, and like the right amount of. Anyways, you get the point. But one thing you'll notice, and I think it wasn't until I was 13, grade 8. I didn't really believe in the concept of a pen. I mean, pen and pencil, they both write, but one you can erase if you make a mistake, and one you can't. And it seemed like, what's the point of a pen? So I never really, other than like signing a check, which you don't do a lot of when you're a little kid. Um, I just never had a reason to use a pen, so I never bought pens. I was all about the mechanical pencil. Mechanical pencils are sweet. Um, wow, I just had a really weird memory. I'm sure this thing still exists somewhere. Oh man. Okay, so in elementary school, I had this pink pencil sharpener. It was really old school, and I think it was actually Asian made, which doesn't make sense because it worked really well. Sorry, guys. Um, it's a stereotype. Oh, you deserve it. So many things like made in China are so like crap in quality. But it was this big pencil sharpener, and it had like the screw thing on it, and it was either the school pencil sharpeners really sucked, or well, I guess partly that, and partly that this pencil sharpener was like perfect. Like you get like the perfect sharpen every time. So like kids would like line up at my desk before like a test or something to like use my pencil sharpener. It was. I was going to say it was really cool and like bob my head like this, but now that I remember, it had two colors, kind of like an outside dark pink and then a faceplate and backplate light pink with like elephants on it. So it wasn't really the coolest item you could have, but it really worked. So I mean, I had no issue just keeping it at school, and I never really made much of an effort to be one of the cool kids. Um, wow, this has been a huge tangent. So back to the analogy of me writing with pencils and not pens. Um, I guess to me, looking in the mirror, you kind of. I guess as a kid, I always knew that I wasn't what I wanted to be, and that what I wanted to be was, for the most part, where I am right now. Maybe a bit older, a bit more established, but I kind of treated the first 20 years of my life like a tune-up, like the preseason, like something that never really counted. Um, which is a really simplistic thing to do, and obviously had some pretty serious repercussions at times. But I guess you could say, up until this point, for the most part, I've been writing in pencil, and you write in pen when you're sure, and I guess now I'm starting to live a life where you know what happens counts. It matters, and I'm not as naive to think that you know things I've done aren't important or lasting up until this point, but from this point on, I want to be who I want to be. I want to be someone who does things that um, are representative of what I believe, and not something that I'm going to have to. Well, I keep bringing up this word regret. I mean, I don't want to overuse it. Um, right. So, I mean, maybe that makes a good end, and I really only have a few seconds left here. Um, to say that, yeah, on Tuesday we'll talk about kind of more cut and dry ins and outs of what is this life that I plan on living, written in pen. Something that I hope will last and don't intend to change on every whim. I want to have guns and stick to them. All right, I'll see you on Tuesday.